All right, welcome back at Look Up TV across all your social media platforms. I am at Kiage Simba. Talk to us. Like I say, we are live across all the social media platforms, so you can actually get to participate, and our numbers are right there on the screen. If you want to talk to us via our WhatsApp line or even call us this morning, we shall be speaking to you. Let's then jump into our big conversation this morning. As I introduced, Kenya's digital economy is booming with over 80% internet penetration and e-commerce projected to hit 3.6 billion in 2027. The Digitally Fit Awards celebrate the innovators driving this growth. Today, we sit down with the CEO of Oracom Group, Mr. Alphonce Juma, who is going to tell us about what is done in this space himself. I'm going to introduce to you Pulse City, which essentially fits this particular conversation. And also, as he talks about that, then he's going to tell us much more about where we fall as a country when we are talking about whether we are digitally fit, and also talk about what these numbers mean to us this morning. This 80% internet penetration, 3.6 billion in a 2027, that's the e-commerce platform, and how you as a business, as an individual, then can start to get digitally fit. Mr. Juma.
Yes.
How are you doing, man?
Very good. Good morning.
Good morning. You've not changed. 5 years has done nothing to you.
I tell you, that was during the COVID.
You and I spoke when we were putting on masks.
Yeah.
And during our period is when we spoke about Pulse City.
Yes.
But guess what? We'll come to that later on. Let's first define what you mean by being digitally fit. For any other person who's saying, what does that mean? Could you make a proper definition of that?
No, being fit is defined in several ways. Normally, even for you, like it's a morning, many people go running. So you say they are trying to be physically fit. So a person who is physically fit is a person who is, like they're trying to do something about their lives so that they can stay longer, because it's all about being authentic. But now when we twist that and take it to the online presence, then we have coined a very big conversation on why brands, and for in this case, when I talk about brands, I mean both individuals and businesses, that they need to go online the right way and then go online and become digitally fit. Because in that, we're just defining their future, because it means so many things for them. And that's why we have a rallying call for every business and every brand to become digitally fit.
That's it. And we're going to go deep into that conversation, just scratching the surface as well this morning. When I spoke to you in 2020, Oracom Group wasn't there. Can you talk to me about that? Because I spoke to you in 2020 when it was just Pulse City. Yeah. Could you talk to me about Oracom Group?
Oracom Group is I can say is one of Kenya's innovations. And I must admit, when we were in South Africa last year, when the selected brands in Kenya that would represent Africa at the Africa Tech Festival, we decided to coin up different concepts that would help businesses. And that's how Oracom Group comes into being.
Yes.
Basically, at Oracom Group, we are saying that every digital element of yours is to be considered very actively. And we run 16 brands, by the way, and the Digitally Fit is one of them that crowns it all. Basically, what we are saying within Oracom Group is that you need a reputable firm to take care of your digital control, and not just to take care of it, to work with your teams as well, so that your brand is digitally fit. What really amazes me in this day and age is that many people have websites, have social media, and in Africa, when you look at how brands interact online, traditionally, we thought about you just going online and posting. But you see, the internet has changed, and many things have changed when it comes to interactions and how brands are shaping conversations on the internet. And that's how Oracom comes in. So we are basically 16 brands that are helping companies to become digitally fit. And why 16 brands is because we consider every element of their online presence. To begin with, if you need to go online, you'd consider something like a logo. And that's where brands get it wrong, because your brand, if you have a good logo, then it means it works with you all along, because you'll put it on your socials, you'll put it on your website, you'll put it on your billboards. Like I've seen your billboards looking really nice.
Yes.
And if it's not a very good logo, then you see you can't go far. Then it goes to your website. For some brands, they also want a mobile app. It goes to their marketing, all that. So Oracom Group comes in to help the brands in the aspects of their digital presence. How are they seen by their customers? How do customers perceive their brands? And then at the end of it, once we've taken you online, now we come in to award the brands that are creating an impact online, which is where the Digitally Fit Awards comes from. Fantastic.
Still on the definition of what it means to be digitally fit. The last time we spoke in 2020, and I do remember what our conversation was going to be. Majority of brands were caught red-handed, that they were used to the physical way of doing things. Advertising was physical, business was physical, every other thing was running on a physical basis. We gotta come speak to you, you gotta come test our brands, you gotta come touch our brands. Then 2020 comes in, COVID is here. I remember when I was speaking with you, the majority of brands were like, wait a minute, so how are we going to do business if indeed economies and governments are telling people avoid going into business areas, find alternative ways of doing your business? So in 2020, majority of businesses were forced then to try and come up with different ways to go digital, and they did. Has that definition changed from 2020 to 2025? What does it mean to be digitally fit, Juma, in a 2025 specifically?
When I think about this, I think just before the COVID, you know,
Yes.
you could tell someone about their online presence. You could try explain to them that, look here, you can do more business when you have a website. You can do more business when you have a strong online presence on your socials. You can do more business when you take care of your call to actions, you know, how you convert your customers. But people weren't getting it. And then COVID came, and then it literally meant that we were in our houses. And all you could do was to go online and look for these brands online. Certain categories like e-commerce and even online payments, they ripped so big on this.
Yes.
And it even created different job opportunities for people in the digital space. You understand very well when it comes to something like content creation. In major cities you go, you find people, young people with cameras trying to shoot content. Why are they doing that? It's because they're helping brands to go online, because now brands can attach their contents and can market online. Ads can be run and different job opportunities around it. But now when we look at that period, I can say that was a very COVID. Yes. I can say it was a very good period for we in the digital space, especially in the tech industry, because it meant we had to now create different solutions for people who are going online. It basically meant also that brands started adopting to the digital journeys, like looking at now, how do we improve on our website? It's been this way for long. I think there are many brands even during that time that had their websites not yet updated for a long period of time. So different people came in to provide these brands. The brands that had adopted this, especially we call them the COVID babies. You know,
Yes.
they are companies that just started during that period, and very great innovations, tech innovations that started during the COVID period. Those companies have gone on to do very well. And that's why we felt, especially with the platform we were talking about, the Pearl City, that we felt that there's a lot that goes on, especially in the social media space. You know, the tech giants, we know them right now. They do a lot. They give people the chance to showcase their products, and we felt it was necessary that we get into that space. Once brands went online, then another problem came, because now they are all crowded, and who will notice you? When you go online, you look for something. For example, what are the shops that are selling bags in Kenya or even within your locality? Then you find that many brands went online. So there was a bit of competition. So brands then started thinking about how can we emerge the top. You know, therefore services like SEO becomes very important for them. Services like social media marketing again becomes very important for them. But now what you realize is some of these services can be very expensive for especially a small startup, and I hope we are going to talk about it.
Yes.
Startups that are just coming up, or companies that are just coming up, they have to compete with the big brands and then leverage on that space. I must say, brands that adopted their digital journeys, that went online the right way, that became digitally fit, because that's when we coined the term as well, those brands have gone on to do very well. Some of those brands are already creating ripples around. There are brands that are already doing very well. There are brands that are already getting customers. So you see, you cannot compare anything online and anything that is traditional.
That's it. Fantastic. But we're going to talk heavily about the Digitally Fit Awards, because I also like you to shed light on some of the brands you've awarded and what has happened to these brands over time. We're going to come back there. Let's talk about this number. I was looking at these numbers from CA yesterday, and I was a bit amazed. Now, Kenya, according to CA, is hosting over 15 million social media users that are growing at nearly 16% annually. All right? What does that say about audience expectations? I mean, growing by 16% annually, that's a big number. It's like Kenya is realizing we need to be on our social media. But then this growth of 16% annual growth, what does it say about audience expectations of businesses on social media?
First we have to talk about how they are doing this, and even the opportunities created around it.
Yes.
I think the mobile, it leads. The mobile. How people are getting online. The 16% annually that is growing, how they are getting online with mobile. So what's basically happening right now is that brands are looking at ways in which they can target the user, the current user, on every device around.
Yes.
Though the majority of them are on their mobile phones, but then brands are looking at different ways in which they can tap into them, while raising up different conversations, especially with content creation. And then now, I think at this stage I'll talk about it,
yes,
because I feel this is a very big opportunity that brands really need to take advantage of. Every user on the internet, they are definitely with their phone. So when they're going home, they're on their phone. When they're at home, with their phone. But there's one major platform that they use all the time, which is their WhatsApp. And there's a very, I think it came this year or last year, a very great innovation by Meta that has come in to revolutionize for these brands, which is called the Meta Business API. Always traditionally you'd use your phone, the WhatsApp on your phone, yes, because when you do any kind of study, well, everyone is on the internet, that percentage you're talking about, but also the percentage of the people with their mobile phones are a lot. But then the one platform that brings them all together is WhatsApp. So there's an innovation that has just come up. Businesses are right now really taking advantage of it, and this is the WhatsApp Business API. Traditionally WhatsApp has the normal WhatsApp, the one you use every day when you install your WhatsApp, and then the WhatsApp Business as well, that businesses install.
Yes.
And then now the third has just come, the WhatsApp Business API, which can allow you, instead of working with your phone all the time, especially for brands that have big businesses, and you have so many people who are handling leads, you just give them one mobile app as agents, and then they can run one WhatsApp. So when you look at the numbers that have come, businesses are trying. Especially if you're a business that is putting up ads, or you're advertising, or you're doing something, you realize then you cannot take control of these figures, because they are a lot and they are on the internet.
Yes.
And they are all looking for your brand. So the businesses need to automate, therefore. And many businesses, many of these tech innovations, the tech giants, they have already come up with tools in which you can innovate. You can imagine a situation where you have only one platform and you can manage everything on your digital. From your website chats, they
yes,
go to one place.
Yes.
All your WhatsApp chats, they go to one place. Instagram chats into one place. It therefore means you only need to do content once and push it to the platforms, and then with just your phone or with that particular dashboard, you can get all those leads. I must say those are the things that businesses are really trying, because when it means more traffic online, according to the data from the CA, it basically also means more websites online. And I'm so happy that we've partnered with Kenik, which is the body that gives the .ke domains.
Yes.
And when you look at the number of businesses that are going online, having their websites, getting their domain names, And you know, Kennick is also within the CEA as well.
Yes.
So when you look at those numbers, they're very huge. And it's still a rallying call for every business person. There's a lot of people who are going online. It's growing 16%. What are you doing? You need to automate your business. You need to improve on your content production.
Yes.
So that it's very, very relevant to the population or the users who are online.
That's it.
Yeah.
You got to make a distinction, Juma, for any other business or person who's listening to you. There's got to be a distinction between value and popularity. And I gotta get the words, because I looked at them, and this is what I came up with when I was looking at this particular question. There's a difference between making your social media valuable and making it popular. That you can get online today and you can have as many followers as you want. You might be doing content on a daily basis, but then is it valuable? How do businesses understand this distinction?
And I want to throw a question back to you.
Yes.
So today you're hired and you're going to sell choppers. You're the new business development person. You're going to sell choppers, you know?
Yes.
You know their prices are into billions. So you take it right now and you're given a pilot and you move to, let's say, Kibera or a slum setup. And then you land there. When you land there, do you think there'll be people who will come?
Yeah, a lot.
Yes, so many people.
A lot.
But when you ask them, can you buy this chopper? Definitely you will not find anyone. They may not, you may find maybe there may not be a lot of it. But when you drive it to a certain place, maybe Lavington or another place, and you put it there, or you land there, you may find that very few people will come, okay? But just in case a few comes and you tell them the price, they may be interested, they may keep talking. So that's basically what happens, is the bare truth on the internet. That if you do not consider value and popularity, then there's a very big problem. What happens is you may have a brand. For example, you're selling, let's say, you're selling a product, and then you take it to the market, but you're reaching out to the wrong people.
Yes.
There are people who are not interested in it, maybe because of the price or the quality. So at the end of it, you have a lot of people who are close to you, liking it, following it. You know, people are creating a buzz around it, and they're talking about it, but they cannot afford it. So that therefore comes in very important, especially for the brands. And you know what happens now? With the Digitally Fit Awards, I think we have a bigger view of the African stage, because what we've done is we've gone for every business, spoken to them, reaching out to every business, including that business by the roadside, that kiosk, and spoken to them about the need to go online. Now, the next thing is considering both popularity and then value. That this brand can go online, yes. For example, they can put up an ad. They're looking for people who can buy, but you may find their target market is just within that particular area. So there is therefore no need to set their ads to run in certain places or certain regions. So there can be a possibility that brands can be lost completely in the popularity. They are very popular, yes, but when you look at the business, when you look at the leads they get on a daily basis, it's not there. And that's why we come in with the Digitally Fit, because we are not just telling you to go online. We are not just encouraging you. And you know, when we started this conversation, it was really difficult, because you're telling me to go online. Some of these businesses have been scammed, you know. They were told, pay this and do this, and then it didn't work. So they are really afraid. Some of these businesses as well, they don't believe in the digital. They just don't believe in it. But now you find that it can be very easy for them when they get it right, when they become digitally fit, because it means now people are able to see them. They can now get value. So it goes along also with user awareness and education, you know, reaching out to that mamboga and telling them they need to go online, so that when it's evening and you're in your house nearby, you're able to place just an order online, and then they can deliver. They can have somebody who goes with them and delivers them to your house.
Yes.
You know, these are the things that COVID taught us, and these are the things that different brands have learned. And now different brands, because right now we're looking at it across the East African region and even Africa at large. One fact is that some of these markets, their businesses are not online. And these are opportunities that every brand can be able to really capitalize on. I look at certain brands, when we started giving out their award, they considered value, okay? And what has happened to them is now they are receiving orders across border. And you can imagine how big growth that is, because it means, therefore, that their customers are not just within their location, not just within their country. Somebody can see them from another country and order them as well, and that's growth. So value is really important, and brands really need to consider where their target market is, and their target market that really translates into a customer who pays.
That's it. Good. And somebody asked me to ask you this question. Visibility. Does it necessarily mean that it will translate to value in these confines of digitally fit conversations?
Visibility is very important.
Yes.
It's good for you to be visible. You know, it's like during campaigns, an aspirant or a candidate who does not campaign does not get votes because people don't know about you.
But what's your take home? What's your take home out of this visibility?
You got to be visible.
I can be known across the country, but I might not win that election.
That happens a lot. You know, brands have to tell their story. Well, you can be known. That's very true.
Yes.
But brands have to tell their stories that resonate to their audience.
That's it.
You know? So it comes from the value you're bringing. You know, what are you giving to the market? So when you want to start any business, you know, you have to think about your company profile. You have to think about the services you're going to offer. You must also think about whether people really need them. So once you've done that, I think that every business person does, then you have to be visible first of all. Now the mistake that people make is that they get visible, but they don't interact with their clients well. For example, a general user, even yourself, you need something immediately, you go online, you find a brand has it, and you ask them for that brand, for that product or a service. And then they reply to you 1 or 2 days later. What happens? They've already lost you.
That's it.
So what brands need to do, and that's why we are really singing about being digitally fit, that their customers, it's a long way. It starts with their visibility, very important.
Yes.
They need to market. If you do not market, there is a problem. You need to produce good content that relates to the people, you know. If you do not produce good content, I can't find you. You know, in our company, we talk about being a digitally fit social media. We define it as somebody who is active on Facebook, first of all, active on Instagram, active on TikTok, active on LinkedIn, and any other platform. You're active on them, active on YouTube, and even on your WhatsApp. What happens? When I give you time, like maybe after this show, and you get your phone back, not all the time you'll be on all the social media platforms. Everyone has their favorite social media platforms. So there are some people who are always glued on their TikTok. So a brand can say, for me, I'm not considering TikTok. What happens then? You lose a very big chunk of people.
That's it.
So it's therefore very important that you consider that aspect. Then it comes into, you're already popular, you're already known. What next? If I see your brand online and I'm interested in your service, I'm going to ask for that service. Now, the question is, what are you going to do? If imagine for some of these brands, and I hope businesses have adopted this already, some of these brands, even in the middle of the night, I can need a product or a service. But then, some of these operations are things that the CEO or the business owner or their teams already know how they would interact. For example, somebody is asking, how can I use this product? Those are things a human being can always answer.
Yes.
Now, AI has come in. And I must say we are leading in that as well. Where AI, you're able to train a bot, just the same operations. The questions that clients ask every day are the same questions all the time. Normally, brands, traditionally, they consider them as what we call a frequently asked question.
Yes.
And then they would populate them on their website, and then they would say, how do I pay for this service? And then they reply, to pay for this service. You know, a traditional frequently asked question, which is in every person's website.
Yes.
Now, what you're saying within the campaign for the digitally fit is that why can't you have a bot? Why can't we train for you AI? Why can't we integrate it with your phone such that anyone who asks any question on that line, then the bot would give that reply? And then, you know, when you talk about bots, many people think like, oh, I think this is I'm talking to a machine. But now AI has changed it such that it's able to compile for you. You're able to give the answers the way you would give if they ask for a question. Where are you located, for example? Then AI, you can train it just to answer that in any language, and then it would give the answer. Interact with this person until the end, but when it feels, when you configure AI properly, whenever it feels that now it needs a human intervention, then a good platform would always populate for you that and say, look here, we've done a chat with this person, we've already provided all the information, but you feel now a human being needs to come in. So it would compile for you all those kind of chats. There are some that it completes for you fully.
Yes.
It therefore means that 24/7, you are able to work. But even apart from that, when you have one WhatsApp number integrated with your Teams, so there's another person who has it, it basically means that whenever a chat comes, you can't miss it. So businesses that have gone online and become so visible, but still failed to automate their conversion lines, we call it CTA. When they fail to just take advantage of that, train a bot to answer some of those things, and also have human beings intervene, then they find it all wrong.
That's it. I want to take a minute before we go on a break, because now that's when I want us to officially then introduce the Digitally Fit Awards. When did they start, and what does it take for a business to be considered as a contender as the most digitally fit business in the country? Take a minute, we come back so you continue talking about it.
We felt that when you give someone a project to do it for you, there is no standardization. For example, if somebody doesn't correctly configure your domain on the internet,
yes,
it means your personal data or private information is leaking on the internet.
Yes.
So we felt there was a need that we partner with different brands that are on that space. So brands that are offering domains, brands that are people, and brands that are building websites, even media houses,
yes,
that are helping people with their online presence. We felt there was a need to bring together these players, put together platforms together, and then most importantly, give them a place where they are able to automatically check, you know, just feed in their website in a place, and then you can automatically check whether you are digitally fit, you can consider. So when we did that, we decided then to say, who do we consider for such kind of a campaign? So we said there are big brands here, but there are also small brands.
Yes.
Big brands, definitely they have budgets. They have many teams that are running their digital presence. But for the small brands, they are always left. But you may find also they have very interesting products as well. But no one thinks much about them unless the business owner really thinks about them. So what we decided to do is to come up with an award that would not only just award the people, but also help them to identify the areas where they are lacking. So this award normally starts by us. It's done by the public. We go out and help and ask people one question. Which are these brands that whenever you go online, you meet them? So we've given people a platform. It's on www.keonline.biz. You just
yes,
go in there and you search for it. Mm-hmm. If there is a brand, whenever you go online, you meet it, they create an impact on your life. Basically, it means you needed a product, they provided it. Now, when you go home, you already have that product. You see, yes, there's a way it's changed your life. Or if you're a business owner, you went online and you found a product, and then or somebody's bought your product. It means when you're going home, you have some money. So that's what we mean by creating an impact online.
Yes.
If you're an influencer, like for you, a journalist or a host, there are many people you change their lives. And you know, that particular aspect is an impact online that needs to be recognized.
That's
Why?
it.
Because every word you speak when you're online, you know, you have to be responsible over it. People really need to, you really need to have already curated, you know, what kind of a message you're going to give. You may consider a person who is just watching it after maybe today or in years. And some of your videos, I think even you agree with me, they still create an impact. People come telling you, I watched you on TV this year, and what you said there still changed my life. So from that aspect of a brand, that is changing people's lives. They're creating an impact online. That is what we considered. Now, when we thought about this, we then looked at some of the big brands. For example, there are many that do an amazing job. But there are also small brands that are also doing amazing jobs. So we felt there needs to be a stage where they come and tell their story. So we always organize a very big stage during the Digitally Fit Awards Gala Dinner ceremony, where brands not only just come for the award, but they come to talk about their products. You know, how did you start it? Such kind of stories. Where are you going? You come share about such a thing. Since we started, many small brands that were not known before, they're now well known. And now they can tell their story. You know, people now know them. And now they are able to get more clients on the internet.
That's it. In fact, I want you to hold your thought there, because once we come back, I'll be telling you about some of these brands that have won their awards historically since you started in 2020. And then we're going to see what has been the impact after those awards. Other businesses also copying on it. We're here with the CEO, Oracom Group, talking about why you, as an individual, but most importantly, as a business brand, needs to be digitally fit. Once we come back, what are some of these brands that have won awards in the recent past, since the awards were started in 2020, and what can you do as an individual or a business to start taking lessons from some of these brands that have been awarded? Once we come back right here at Look Up TV across all the social media platforms, I am at Simba. Talk to us. All right, welcome back to Look Up TV. In case you are just joining us, we are asking you the question, are you digitally fit? I'm also telling you that social media use in the country on a year-on-year average is growing by 16%, and that is huge. So we do know that your audience expects you to be there. And that's exactly what we're talking about today, and looking into Digitally Fit Awards in conversation with the CEO of Oracom Group. Now, this morning then, let me tell you some of the awards, some of the brands that have won those awards. We do have Gigi has been awarded, and interesting enough, I found KMTC has also bagged an award under some of your categories. Can we talk about what are some of the tangible results that would follow if you award a particular brand? And also, in that extension, do you find that online or being digital for a small business sort of levels the playing ground, that you have the ability that if you play your game well online to compete with a bigger brand?
Well, you know, the concepts around the Digitally Fit Awards, you know, there are businesses that we literally went for.
Yes.
The first category was the big brands that we went for. Second was the brands that are already in the market and doing fairly well. We felt their story needed to be told. But then there is a particular category of businesses which we call nearly dying. You know, it was a concept that was there, you tried to execute it and it didn't work. So there are businesses we got in this, and I remember when we started the Digitally Fit Awards, you know, we could invite such kind of businesses, and they were like, but look, we don't have even a very good online presence, but we felt your story or your products or your services were unique. You are a brand that just needed a small assist, a small push for you to go online. And then some of those brands said like, okay, here we are, what can you do for us? So the journey starts by, you know, us giving them a digital elements checklist. They just tell us, this I have, this I don't have, but I need help. Do you have a website? This I don't have, but I need help. They start by telling us that. So when businesses go, you know, the big brands would score. And since we started this, I've never seen a brand that would score 50. We have basically 50 elements, 50 different elements that when you go to the site, you just tick them. So we've never seen, even as the big and the famous brands, there is none that has ever scored 50, because you never become fully digitally fit.
What does that mean for local brands who never score 50?
Local brands, especially that don't score 50, we categorize them into the must-have.
Yes.
So at the digitally fit, like there's a whole complex.
I see that.
It's as complex as an algorithm.
Yes.
So we have things that we consider as must-have. There are basically 10 things you must have for you to be successful on the internet. So brands would go and say, how about a website? For example, a website we consider. Social media presence we consider. So you'd say email address, things like that.
Yes,
I would consider this. So a brand would say, this I don't have, but I need help. Or this I have, I don't need help. So we would curate, especially for the brands, what are these things you're saying you don't have, but you need help? Or you have them, but you need help. It basically means that you're not getting them. Maybe your provider for your emails, you have emails, but they're not working. Recently, your website was hacked, and things like that. Your social media, you're posting every day, but there are no comments. That's a big thing for brands.
That's it.
Every day you're busy posting things, but when you go there, no one is commenting. You're like talking alone. So we identified these brands based on that score, which is out of 50. First is the things you need, and then 2 are what we call the technical elements. The technicals you need, and then your marketing element, and then your social element. So all these constitute 50. So big brands go in, take them, they score. And the scoring is done by everyone. You just go to our website. We've built it already, test.keonline.biz. You just put in your website, and then it will analyze for you and tell you everything you need to correct. So when small brands started going in there, and they are realizing that we do not have so many things, we cannot win the award. So we decided to partner with, create opportunities for the young people and say, if you can help a small brand with this, this, and this, come on board. And then we started now getting these brands starting to adopt. And then they adopt. And then another year, now they have an online presence. Now you can search and you can find them.
That's it.
So that's how we pull these brands, and now they can go online. Now, when it comes to the brands that get a chance to win at the Digitally Fit Awards, they are basically brands that we end up inviting at the award ceremony. Normally, we have several categories, and from those categories, we select the top 3. Now, some of the brands always wonder, but we were not part of this. Now, it starts by us asking the public first. Remember, digital fitness is not about who has more money, for example, or who has what kind of online presence. It has to be about the public, because our award is those who are creating an impact online.
That's it.
You create an impact online for the public. So we ask the public. So the public will tell us that under colleges, this is the college that leads. Under universities, this is the university that impacts my life online. So based on that, we collect all that, and then we also do a technical analysis, and then we end up with the top 3. Now, the businesses that always get into the top 3 are basically businesses that are going to get a stage to tell their story. And that's what many people love, because we have several marketing campaigns that we do for them, pre-event, during event, and after the event. It has to revolve around content. It has to revolve around them being popular. Now, when you pick the 2 brands that you've already picked, Gigi, for example.
Yes.
I remember us inviting them. A lot of background study has to go in. What is this award about? And whenever they could go online and find a very big, I think our award is the one that is the most attended of all the awards, because we always have so many personalities that come. When you think about an online award, a digital award, everyone feels they want to be part of it, because they are playing something. They're already doing something on the internet. I remember very well during the Gen Zs, we had the biggest of nightmares, because in our campaign list, the way one time somebody is very popular, one time now again they are not very popular.
Yes.
One time another person is really doing well on the internet, and then another time is not on. That person is not doing online. It was the biggest challenge for us. But now we realize that the brands that end up being on the award list, which is always very competitive, because technically you have to be good. The public have to vote for you, and then you end up being invited into the stage. This award, for the brands that get it, we've seen their numbers grow in terms of their brand recognition on the internet. Because many people make a lot of mistakes. When you get into a stage like an award, your customers get it, that you're a brand they can trust. So they tend to want to hear more about you. you know. So the brands that have come into the award stage have always received something extra, you know. When everyone is quiet and you are there with your table of your team, and then the winner is, you know, and then your brand is mentioned. From the content that comes around it to the post-production, you know, the post-marketing that you'll get around it. And now the good thing even with this award is that it's now like it's not just local, because this year we are doing this, like next week we are doing for Kenya, and then we are going to Uganda. We are going across all those countries. Each one of them have their editions, and then after that now they come at the East Africa, which this year we are doing in Uganda in December. So when you look at this for a brand, an established brand or a big brand, it basically means that 8 East African countries are looking at your brand. You can imagine what stage that is. That you are Gigi, for example, you're recognized in Kenya as a leader. That means at the Kenyan level. But then you're also going to compete, another one in Somalia, another one in Rwanda, another one in Burundi. And then if you're lucky, you emerge the winner, the marketing around it alone, the stage itself, it's always a big, big, big thing that brands rush for.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've partly mentioned what I want to ask you next. And this is where you find majority of businesses struggle. There's a lot of advice, or if you go online today, on what you can do to do proper content, to get quality content, to engage your followers. But then, there's got to be a distinction as well that we got to make clear. There is community engagement. You do know that my community as a business is this. And it's not all the time that I'm supposed to sell to my community. Because every other person online, and you can attest to that, Juma, social media nowadays is turned into a market. Every other person is selling. Buy this, get this, call us, do this. And you find that majority of the businesses that are making the cut are the ones that have sort of discovered that what you gotta do is engage our community. Because they know what we're doing, engage them in a way that you're not essentially selling them on a daily basis. If all of us are gonna be on social media, or all of us are gonna be digital, it opens up another fields where all of us can do the same thing. We can't go online to sell all the time because that's what everybody wants to do. How do businesses start to learn on how to engage their community better as opposed to selling to their community?
It's a big mistake brands make.
Yes.
You know, what we do at the Digitally Fit, like I said, we get businesses when they are struggling.
Yes.
Some hire marketers who go on, you know, they have a complete plan, but every day, just like you're saying, buy this, sell this. Every time you're just asking the client to do something.
No, that is, you know, and it's mentally tiresome. Because sometimes I go online, I go like, let me see what's online. Sometimes I want to take a break, isn't it?
Yeah.
But when I scroll from one post to another, buy this, sell this, we have this, there's an offer, there's this, you're like, oh, come on.
You know, there are certain brands or individuals, like I'll just mention one of them, Oracom Group.
Yes.
He's actually one of the leading, one of the people we awarded during the Digitally Fit, that was in 2023.
Yes.
Now what it does is, which I was also pushed to different people, but not just Oracom, but many other people, is they create a storyline around your brand.
That's it.
You know, they would act a comedy around it, and then they would sell it to the public. You know, the impact of that alone is very different.
It is.
Now, when I look at what we help businesses with when it comes to their marketing and their content, is within the Digitally Fit program, because it's not just an award, but there's a program that you have to go through. We help brands by training them. We offer customized trainings, which some of them we do for free. We call it the Digitally Fit 360, like a 360 overview of your digital online, which is all for free. Now, what we help brands with is to sensitize them on how they can package their brand, and then number two, on which kind of media content that they can use. For example, today we are here on your show. This is a different content. You know, when you give a child rice every morning, rice and tea every morning, They would get tired.
That's
Day 3, day 4, they are already tired.
That's true.
Same. You're selling to me every day, your brand. When I look at your social media, you just buy these products. How about when you change different media contents? And those are the things that you're doing. Those are the things that you are sensitizing brands, small and big, that you can consider sometimes. You consider even doing pictures, for example, and then it's a story, doing reels, which has become very key as well.
Yes.
Sometimes you can consider doing even a sketch, that you can imagine your social media posts for today. You are saying, we are not taking any picture, we are not doing any design, because graphic designers are always, design this poster. This day we just want to scribble it down as a sketch.
Yes,
and then we just upload it online.
That's it.
That this day we are doing a meme, for example. So when you consider, there are almost over 12 content types. And then when you want to fit this in a content calendar, which is a training that we do very well, then it becomes so easy, your social media would work for you. Because not every day you are telling them to sell. You can sell. For many brands, they will consider 2 times or 3 times in a week only. Those are the days when you have a design, a nice brochure that you'll share. But the rest is all about testimonials, you can imagine. It's all about stories. It's all about impact. It's all about that member of your team that you want to appreciate, So such kind of things really assist brands when it comes to their online presence.
Pretty much. Good. Let's talk about another aspect that majority of brands are gathering, and I know that you are looking into this as well. Social media currently, as it is, it's just built up on trends. But the question we're going to ask is this: what is our brand as African businesses? What is our brand as Kenyan businesses? Are we, Juma, creating trends? Are we able to create trends online? I'll give you a direct example. There is a TikTok runs on trends and sounds. I'll give you the Jet to Holiday sound.
Yes.
You'll find that will be picked across the world, and even local businesses in the country hang on this trend, and they start using it to sell their brands. And you would realize that within this period, that particular brand with that sound is really selling and doing proper businesses. So the question is, are we able, as local brands, in this conversation for fitting into the trends? And there's so many of them that happen online. Are we basically trend copiers, or have we reached that state where you say, in fact, local brands are also trendsetters? Like, we can come with a Kenyan trend that can go online and be copied by other juries as well.
There's a lot. I think even right now, there's something trending, right?
Yes.
And by the way, there's a lot of popularity. There is a lot of benefits that a brand would get when they're trending the right way, definitely.
Yes, that's it.
Now, I want to just take you back. There is something we've tried to do just the past 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So we got in a team, and I think brands can also try do this.
Yes.
And then we told them, we give them brands, just young people, Gen Z. I must say, things like trends are mostly controlled by the Gen Z people.
Yes.
Because there's a way they understand the internet differently. There's a way they understand content differently. So there are brands that would involve such kind of people. And they may not know the strength that this kind of people bring. There is a way they understand the internet, but what they need is just guidance on how a brand is able to capitalize on that. So what we decided to do is make posts, and I would like any person just go and check on our online presence, either on the Digitally Fit Awards,
yes,
or the Oracom Group Twitter.
Yes.
And then we gave them just a post. Just make this online and then make it trend. Now we realized that one particular post could hit even more than 300,000 views. And at one point, but just organic trends, organic conversations, like very organic. Organic means basically they would check on what is trending, they would
yes,
create conversations. Of course, there are AI tools that you can use around that, and then generate lots of topics, and then they go online with them. Now, this already means a local brand, a small brand, that cannot appear on a trend, a local trend or a national trend or a world trend, or a country-specific trend, there are certain things they're able to do by themselves, basically. So we decided to do that by just tagging on, creating a conversation. It was a conversation around the digitally fit awards, and it worked. It basically means the internet is open for everyone. I really like the internet because it's a level playing ground for everyone, whether you have money or not.
Yes.
So long as you can dedicate your time, so long as you can get a following, and then you go on with it, and then you push a conversation in a trend,
yes,
then it works. And brands can be able to utilize this. I'm happy that we offer this on a training on just how, if you are like a business that has 5 employees, for example, there's something you can do for you to go into the trends. There is. It's something you can do. How about if you're a big business? You know, there are companies that we've trained as we prepare them for the Digitally Fit Awards, and we realize even they have so many people, staff. But you ask them, have they even followed your brand? They have not followed. Do they even know what you're posting? What about your content calendar? They have not. But there is always a feeling of when I feel part of the brand where I work on, you know, and then I'm able to raise conversations around it because I understand everything. Like, for example, today we are here. There are many things that we experience in this space. By the way, it's a really amazing studio.
Thank you.
There are many things we experience here that the audience may not know. So it's therefore a responsibility for everyone. So just working with the teams that you have, you do not need to hire anyone, just the teams you have. They're already trained correctly. And then you only have maybe 1 or 2 people who have verified accounts to help them to push those conversations. Then with different gadgets, they just go online, well trained. All of a sudden you're trending.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Good. Let's talk about the role that you play as Oracom vis-a-vis the competition that you're getting from AI. I mean, we are at that stage where, Juma, you do know very well that some people have trained bots and extensions on their browsers where the only thing you need to do is just feed a content calendar and you can get content generated without you fully participating in it. You can get tweets, you can get posts, even image generated without you essentially fitting into it. Just a command that will say, just make it SEO, stick to these words, and you're already there. Where do you come in? Because AI is saying, and I run this kind of posts a lot more online, that, hey, you don't need, you know, somebody to come in and tell you how to do your SEO, somebody come in and tell you what your keywords for your company are. There's AI here, there's this AI, just subscribe. A one-off subscription for 1 year, some are even lifetime subscriptions, and then this AI will look into your business, will look into your website and tell you exactly what you need to do. But here you are, as Oracom, you're saying, you need this physical help for you to understand what it is that you need to do to be digitally fit. Who's beating who in this game? Are you fighting AI? Are you complementing AI? What do you find yourself?
We still make a joke in the company at Oracom.
Yeah.
You know, there is this person who doesn't know to construct words very fluently.
Yes.
Always know when you're speaking to them, they can't get it right. And then all of a sudden, they go to AI and they generate a very
You look
nice
at that
letter.
document, you're like, this is a very smart gentleman.
Is this you? So what happens is people know, by the way, and there's a way people can dismiss what's from AI. I already know.
Yes.
This is AI.
That's it.
This is a letter from AI.
Yes.
So it also affects your brand when you don't put in, when you don't humanize it, when you don't put a human being's element into it, then people just know, oh, I'm speaking to machine, and this is not you, by the way. Now that's where Oracom comes in to make sure that it's more human, because AI as well, when it's trained correctly, I just talked about the human trained AI. It basically means you're telling it, when a person asks this, reply like this. So at that point, it's a human being. It's not AI generating for you different content that you give a person. So we come in to tell brands that we can leverage on AI. Yes, you can tell them to generate for you content that is feminine, for example, or that is kind, or that has this kind of characteristics, and then do it, separate it for me in 3 days, and then generate for it also images, and then put it for me in a content calendar.
That's it.
And AI will do it for you in minutes.
Yes.
Really awesome. But now what you realize is, does it localize it for you according to your audience? You know, there are certain kinds of content that somebody will just read and feel, oh yeah, you're speaking to me, because there's a way you would frame it differently, then it resonates. While I would not really say AI is not a game changer, it is definitely, because even us, actually during this Digital Fit Awards we are holding next week, we are going to launch one of our first AI products, you know, and AI does a lot of things for people. We cannot like hide and say that we can do all by ourselves.
Yes.
Replies to emails so easy with AI. It's able to just look at what that person was referring to, and then it's able to reply based on how you feed information into it. But now what we found very interesting, you know, for all our sets of businesses, we realized that majority of them are human beings had to be involved. And then there's something we tried doing, and then we realized the market responded so well. So do you know what we did? We did 2 apps for AI, which are just AI. And we thought about what affects a human being naturally.
Yes.
And we said maybe it's about health and things like this. So we decided to coin one of our brands, which is brand number 13. It's called, when you go online and just on any of the app stores, you just go ODS AI. So there's a skin scanner that we've done, that you just scan your skin, you take a picture of your skin, it analyzes it for you. Now the most interesting thing is it even gives you your skin age. So that's one of the things you're going to do. And then another one also, you scan your food before you eat it. You know, for the first time I did it to separate how many tomatoes, you know, they cut tomatoes in it, and then it gives you everything, plus how you can prepare that meal in a more healthier way. Now, these are just examples of what AI can do. Every business, when you look at every aspect of your business, there is just a way. You know, this time, I think you've already seen politics, and especially campaigns are just coming up. I guess it's going to be very hot this time round.
Especially when we have AI.
Yeah,
yes.
when we have AI 2027.
It's going to be messy.
It's going to be
It's going to be messy. I can already see it.
Because it basically means you can generate somebody's...
You can generate anything.
A video.
You can make them say anything.
Yes.
You can place them anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's going to be very hard to discern what is real or not.
What is real or not? You know, you can generate anything using AI. So what we do at Oracom is we look at some of these. Just the real-time problems of what a person goes through. For example, a politician. So we've coined a platform called My Leader Kenya for just the politicians. How are they able to become digitally fit as well? And I'm so happy so many of them have really embraced it. We've had so many of the politicians in the stage. And this time round, many of them are going to be at our stage as well. Now, what every business needs to do is just to look at every aspect of their business. Because when you look at things like opinion polls, for example, which comes in handy for politicians who are looking for votes, they want to know, how do people rate me on A, B, C, D? So such kind of things done in the background lets you know, oh, I need to improve in education, I need to improve in healthcare and things like that.
Yes.
So we cannot ignore AI. And the message from Oracom Group is that across East Africa, the brands need to look at every aspect of their businesses and then plug in AI on it.
That's it. Pretty much. Now, let's talk about social media being social media in itself, that all digital. That even as you're investing in good content, you're investing in the good posters, the good sketches, you also got to look beyond and say, can we make something out of the content that we're putting out? I mean, from your analyzation, because I know you have 50 categories that businesses, that you're looking at business, and I know there has to be one category on monetization. Yeah. How much money? Yes, you're spending time, you've employed people within your company who are called digital department, and you're paying them on a monthly basis, but how much is your digital department bringing back to the company? Because we do know it's also a very big element in terms of being digitally fit. Can that department pay itself?
Yeah.
Do you realize, have businesses realized the importance of also investing in this department, not just as a as a place to become visible and get value for their business, but can they also get value in terms of what this is bringing back to them? How many businesses, out of your analysis, are really saying, we can make something out of this?
I want to give you a story.
Yes.
So when I came to Nairobi, and then I learned about a product called Google AdSense. So when I read the books, I could find that you can build a website actually, put in some ads on it, and then everyone who clicks it, you'd be paid.
That's it.
So I said, this is very interesting. That was around 2010, just arriving in Nairobi after Moi University. And then I decided to build a platform, the My Leader Kenya, and then I put up certain ads on it. And then for real, like day one, I had $20, like day one. So what I decided to do is to, if this is giving me a lot of money, can I just, because I could read that you don't need to use it. If you click your own ads, it warns you there, then
Yes.
it would penalize you. So I decided to go, I would go to the cyber cafes. You know, that, around that time, there were a lot of cyber cafes in town. I go to this, log in, and then click. And then after a week, I had made a lot of money, but I was using wrong means of making money. So at the end of it, one day I checked on it, and Google had blocked my AdSense account with a lot of money.
Yes.
So I decided to go back into it. What is this that when you do correctly with your content, and that was around 2012, then you can make money literally out of it.
That's it.
So I decided to lodge an appeal to Google. Definitely they gave me the account back. And then I went straight into it. Now, what I realized, and now this is real right now, when you look at all our platforms, we've monetized them. So there are ads. Brands are able to put in ads there through the Google AdSense.
That's it.
And I also offer a course on it, where what you're telling you as every brand is, if you're able to build a concept, you know, you can be talking about somebody's in insurance. For example, you're an expert in insurance, or you're an expert on health-related matters.
Yes.
So within the Digitally Fit Awards concept, we are also sensitizing different industry leaders that you can have your own blog, your own channels on YouTube, and you can monetize them.
That's it.
When you monetize them, it basically means that you are getting money out of it without interacting with clients on your products. So the challenge always is you don't need to really like put ads on where you're also advertising, because your competitors definitely will put their ads there, so they'll be driving traffic away. But when you can sell content that people are looking for, it really works. If I give you a practical example, in our company right now, especially the KE Online.biz, when you look at it, it has so many ads. That website receives a lot of leads, a lot of views or traffic in a day. That basically translates to money. So there are brands that are watching this show, and you already have platforms where you have a lot of traffic when you measure them through Google Analytics. And there's a lot of traffic in them. This traffic, you can make money out of it. So you can always speak to our teams or just anyone else who is able, because we've also created a lot of job opportunities for different people. You understand, like we cannot do all this alone. We cannot build websites. Right now we have over 100,000 businesses that are on the platform, like the businesses that are already verified on the platform. And then we have millions of businesses across East Africa. All of them, we cannot support them. We cannot help them to monetize. So we have to work with different people. But when brands realize that me as an expert, I can build a good website, and there are ways you can even build a website by yourself. And then you can set up your website, start producing content, and then you sell them online, or you make them popular on the internet, and then you just put up ads once you're verified. Then people come clicking them. So currently we make a lot of money when it comes to the ads, and brands too can capitalize on that. What they just need is to identify which is the industry or category or the niche that they're going to cover, and then they just make them digitally fit, and that's it. So you don't then need to rely on other means of, you know, your products your services can give you clients, but also you are there earning money through the online presence only.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We have 5 minutes, and I can't let you go without asking this question. It's been 5 years of you now running these awards. Let's look ahead. What do we expect for these awards to morph into? I mean, yes, we understand the 50 categories that you're analyzing businesses on, and you're telling businesses you gotta strive to get as much as you can to click these 50 categories and make sure probably you've even halved them as you go by. But as an award itself, what more are we expecting as we look forward to next week and then probably into 2026 onwards?
Lots of things.
Yes.
First of all is the expansion of the categories, because now different categories, we've been considering every niche of a business.
I should have asked, do you have
kinyozi, for
yes,
example?
That's it. I should have asked, do you have AI as a category that you've got to fit into your business?
Kinyozi or a salon.
Yes.
Basically, your clients are the people around you.
That's it.
It can be so simple. What you really need to do is just to set up its online presence through the social media. That you can do is cheap. Get a domain, really around 1,000 shillings. Get it a website. You can build a small mini website. A budget of maybe less than 10,000 or even 5,000. You're already up.
That's it.
Then now the next thing is, how do the people around you know about you? How are you able to know? There are systems when you automate. Like, I talk passionately about automation because I know what it's done to my business. My business, actually, Oracom, by the time we were doing the interview, we were a very small company. But now we are running day and night, over 50 full-time. That's it. Running day and night, simply because of that growth. When you automate, if that kinyozi person decides to automate, it basically means that they're able to get some data. For example, our bulk SMS system is able to, you're able to key in certain aspects of demographics of a person. For example, you can key in the date of birth, what's my birthday, you can key in that. But even as simple things like a trend, I go to kinyozi today. So in 2 weeks or in 3 weeks, I would come again. Those are things that you can learn based on the data that you're keying onto a system, if you have a good system.
Yes.
Then you can imagine, I've come to your kinyozi, but it's already set. A system is set somewhere to remind me, hi, Mr. Alphonse, we are now offering you this, but this is the time when I need this. Things like that. If you look at somebody in a garage, they run them so manually that they wait for me to go with my car to look at my service dates. How about if systems are configured for that? We've right now configured our bulk SMS and WhatsApp such that when it's your birthday, brands, restaurants, they can take advantage. You can imagine when your birthday is tomorrow, most of us who grew up in the village, we even used not to remember those things, It's nowadays that everything birthday. But those days we did not, yeah? But you can imagine a way in which a system is set up. If we have, for example, 1,000 people who visit our restaurant daily, but you have a simple SMS solution, nothing technical, that is able to be set such that when it's one day, I'm invited. Maybe come with this person, or come, there's a family offer, or just come, there's an offer for you for my birthday, which is coming up tomorrow, with just a small offer. The offers, they run daily, but I get that on my phone. And then when it's the D-Day, again, I have another present given for me. It can be as simple as giving me a flower, which may even cost me even 200 shillings or something like that.
Yes.
So when brands automate every aspect of their businesses, then it becomes so easy for them. Now, where we are going to, when it comes to the Digitally Fit Awards, is we are hunting out for the businesses that are saying, as we are dying, like there's some businesses, somebody, an entrepreneur, leaves a job, and then he says, I'm going to start a business, and then he resigns, and then he goes out, and I've seen that a lot, and then he tries it, and he's like, I can't do it. That market, that competition was so tough. So I'm going back to employment, for example. We have seen ways, and we've already put up systems in which we can be able to work with you. You can still be employed,
yes,
but you're running your dream, because every person always has a dream. There is no harm when your platform is known and is doing well on the internet, but then you are running it on the sides because it's digitally fit. You can, any other person, you can hire somebody to run it for you. At the end of it, it's easier for you. So we are going out for these ideas. They are always very unique ideas on the internet. And we are telling you that you can still run them when you just put them digital. Continue with your work, but let the digital speak for you. So these brands are the brands right now. We want to be known for that we picked them up and we took them online. Now, where we are going is the East Africa. And we're already there. Last year, we were able to bring together all the 7 East African countries. They gathered here at Nairobi Safari Park, and it was an amazing event. People came from different areas. This year, we are doing it in Uganda, Kampala,
yes.
On December 5th. Now, and then after that, once you're done with the East Africa, the following year we'll be going the Africa. We want to conquer the entire of Africa, because every business needs to go online.
That's it.
After that, you know, it's a big topic. You need to just physically fit and digitally fit.
That's it.
Yes.
Good. Take 45 seconds. Being online means that you're exposing your business to a lot of people. Some were just even curious. Online security. Take 45 seconds. What do I have to do as a small business to make sure that I am digitally secure?
Security is very important, yes, when you go online, because there are people who are just trying to bring your brand down, trying to steal information, trying to steal your data. So it's very important that you consider security. Now, what we do at the Digitally Fit Awards, and that's one of the elements that we do, is we've partnered with security companies that are dealing with security, yes, and even tech developers who are hackers, or people who can help you know when a hacker can, you know, for you to be a good hacker, you have to be somebody who takes care of security. You must know how to hack.
That's it.
So that you know how to prevent your other people, you know, your other friends. So what we've done is we've partnered with them. Now, at the Digitally Fit Awards, we really consider security as among the 50 elements that is very important. Why? Because if you're not secure, it means even your data can leak to the public.
That's it.
There are platforms, and this I also bring to the businesses as well. Just speak to us. We have already teams that can do for you a security test on your website. There are some that we meet and we do a security test, and you find all their salary. You can even add yourself as one of their employees and earn a salary. So those are things that hackers are using, but people don't know. So we come in to help these businesses to sensitize or to tighten knots as well when it comes to their security. If you understand, therefore, like when we talk about being digitally fit, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing that needs so many partners. It's a whole thing that creates so many job opportunities. And it's a whole rallying call that, yes, even media houses that like yours needs to come in, so that we bring up a conversation around it, so that Kenyan businesses, when they go out to compete against businesses in Rwanda, let's say in real estate, yes, then Kenya can emerge top. And that's what we are going to do at Agile Hotel, where we are going to put up together a Team Kenya and tell them on how they need to prepare so that they're able to bring the trophy home. Just like Harambee Stars is right now doing very well.
Hopefully there's going to be a 2.5 million award that will follow, just like Harambee Stars have been promised this morning. Guess what? In conversation with the CEO Oracom Group, Mr. Alphonce Juma, guess what? This is a conversation that I kind of have for the next 3 hours, by the way. There's so much that we haven't covered, that we haven't uncovered. Just for those businesses who are interested in being on the platform, the website to check the 50R.
You just go to www.test.keonline.biz.
That's it. Once you're there, the checklist will be there, and you shall be vetting yourself whether indeed you are digitally fit. Mr. Alphonce Juma, thank you very much for coming, man.
Thank you.
I do appreciate you. All right, take them online.